It is Hope here from Crafty Hope, and I am working again in my small junk journal, and this is page 19. Now, it is part of a probably 4x6 index card, I guess, the lined portion. So it's one of the smaller pages in this junk journal, and so I'm trying to do something fairly simple since I've just got a tiny bit of space on there. So I've decided to take some tissue paper and some gel medium, and I am just kind of bunch it and scrunch it and make some texture on this page. And I'm going to go over it with a little bit more gel medium to seal it on there, and then I'll smooth it out a little bit. You see I'm trying to get it in from the edges a little bit, and I'm using the paintbrush. It's got that gel medium on it to kind of flatten everything out and get it down. So over there on that left bottom corner, there's not a whole lot of, I guess, movement that I wanted to have there. So I'm going to take another piece of that tissue that I tore off here in just a second and scrunch that on there. And I take a little bit of time to move that around and whatnot. I was trying to do something just a little bit different. Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of space on here, so I wanted something maybe that's not too busy but still makes a statement. So there, that's pretty much where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna dry that real quick with my heat gun. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna dry that real quick with my heat gun and get it good and dry. And then I've got this kind of magenta, purpley colored paint, and I'm gonna cover the whole page with it. I'm just using a paintbrush, and it takes me a little while because I'm trying to get in, since I did create all that texture, I'm trying to get in all those cracks and crevices and make sure that that page is completely covered. I didn't want any of that index card actually showing through any of the lines that are on that back side there. So I will take a little bit of time, and I did have that piece of dictionary paper protecting the pages behind it, and since I got a bunch of paint on it, I folded it up and stuck it back in there. So and then I've got this light blue, and I'm just going to put a couple little dabs of it on my page and smear it out. It ends up just blending into the that magenta paint because I didn't dry that, so it blends it kind of well. In the final result, you don't even notice that that's blue paint. It's just a lighter tone there. So it worked out. I don't really know what I was trying to do, but since both paints were wet, it blended more than anything. And I think there you could see I didn't get all my magenta paint into all my cracks and crevices. So from there, I think I'm going to dry it now. So I get it dry, and then I'm taking just what is that? A black ink pad, and I'm very, very lightly kind of just scraping that along the tops of that tissue paper just so you can see that texture, and it highlights it a little bit. It's nothing major, just a little bit of a texture. Now here I'm trying out a bunch of different things to use as some kind of focal. I've got paint swatches. I don't know why I didn't use that die cut thing, but I don't know, none of it really seems to work, and I ended up cutting out, there's a whole like minute and a half here that I sat and thought about it, and finally just grabbed my light blue Posca paint pen, and I am just drawing a couple little stars. I have no idea what possessed me to do that. It's not a shape that I tend to throw into my art journaling, but I decided to just put some little stars down. I don't know, I don't know. And so here I've just got it's just a black pen, and I'm adding a dot into the center of each of those stars. I was at a loss. I knew I wanted texture in that little bit of space. I didn't want anything too busy, so I don't know. And I've got these, what are they called? Snippets or something from Tim Holtz, and I'm looking for a phrase, and I find one that says the little stars, which worked out because for some reason I threw those little stars down on the page. So I'm sticking that down in one of the areas where there's not a whole lot of texture on there, so it sticks pretty well. And then using that same pen, this is just a black pen from the Dollar Tree that I really like. Now the ink kind of spreads a little actually on the page because the tissue paper kind of soaked it in a little bit, even with the layers of paint and matte medium and all of that, it still soaked in. So I'm taking the dictionary paper that I had just up under my paper, I mean, yeah, under my pages. And I'm cutting out some stars. I think I'm only going to cut 3 out here, and they are wonky little stars. Nothing to them but wonkiness. I didn't want anything perfect or exact or anything, but some stars to go with that little phrase that I threw on there. And I sped this up a little bit more than usual because it's, I don't know, super fiddly. And I'm using some really tiny, these are my decoupage scissors that I like to use when I'm trying to get little details cut out. So I used to do a lot of decoupage, I don't even know, like 15 years ago, 20 years ago maybe, a long time ago. And I bought those scissors. They were an expensive purchase for me at the time, and that means probably they were like $7. But so they're one of my treasured possessions, and I am gluing down, just using my Ohu glue stick to glue my little fancy cut stars out, my imperfect stars. And I'll grab that pen again. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, grab that Dollar Tree ink pen again and go around each of those stars just a little bit to let them be highlighted, just like the phrase on there. And I think from there I'm gonna get my jelly roll. I think it's called Stardust. So basically it's just a glitter, it's like clear glitter pen. And I love this pen. And I'm going around each of those big stars I created. And I'm gonna go around also just circle the little stars I did with that light blue. And then from that's done, guys. Here's a closer look. If you like this, make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps. And leave a comment if you got something to say. I appreciate it so much. And thanks for watching, guys. All right. Bye.